He didn't warn her. He didn't hesitate. In front of senators, judges, CEOs, and rolling cameras, a billionaire grabbed a black woman by the shoulders and shoved her into the pool, then stood over her, smirking, while guests whispered, filmed, and pretended not to see the racism dripping from his mouth. What he didn't know was this. The woman he humiliated was married to the one man whose signature could save or destroy his collapsing empire. And within minutes, that one choice would cost him everything. The terrace of the Grand Regency Hotel shimmered with lights reflecting across the pool. Ava Ellis stepped outside for a moment of quiet, unaware that the most dangerous man in the building was watching her. The gala inside was crowded with judges, senators, executives, the kind of people who believed the city rotated around their approval. She checked a message from her law firm and slipped her phone away. That was when 4 figures broke from the ballroom crowd and walked toward her with deliberate steps. At the center was Maxwell, Crane, billionaire developer, host of the gala, and a man whose business empire was collapsing by the month. His expression carried a polished charm for anyone who didn't notice the hatred simmering just beneath. "I don't think we've been introduced," Crane said, stopping too close. "Some guests confuse attendance with belonging." Ava stood her ground. "I'm here to support the foundation like everyone else, and to represent my community with pride." His smile tightened. Behind him, Judge Rowan, Senator Leavitt, and Bank President Carl Maywood exchanged mocking looks. "And what exactly qualifies someone like you?" Crane asked, voice dripping with contempt. Ava held his gaze. "The same thing that qualifies you." Crane's mask slipped, revealing the hostility he was trying and failing to hide. "Let me explain something," he said, stepping even closer. "There's an order to things in this city. And people like you, that's enough," Ava said sharply. "You're crossing a line." But Crane wasn't listening. Fueled by alcohol, rage, collapsing finances, and arrogance sharpened by decades of unchallenged privilege, he suddenly lunged forward. His hands clamped onto her shoulders. Before she could react, he shoved her, hard. Ava's scream was swallowed by the rush of air as her body flew backward. She hit the pool with a violent splash. Water erupted in a wave, drenching nearby guests who gasped as she disappeared beneath the surface. Cameras shot up instantly. Phones recorded every second of the billionaire's assault. Ava resurfaced, coughing, mascara streaking down her face, her elegant gown clinging heavily to her body. Crane adjusted his tuxedo like a man, wiping his hands after taking out the trash. "Maybe. Now you'll remember your place," he sneered. The ballroom doors burst. Open Elias Ellis, Ava's husband, saw, her soaked, gasping, trembling, and he saw the man responsible. He moved like a force of nature. "Step away from my wife," Elias said, voice low and razor-sharp. It cut across the terrace like a blade. Crane turned, confidence evaporating the moment he saw him. "Elias," she slipped. "It was, you shoved her," Elias said. Guests pressed to the glass, filming, whispering, horrified. News alerts began pinging. A hashtag was already forming. Crane lifted his hands. "Look, I had too much to drink. Let's talk like businessmen. Don't ruin our deal." "Our deal?" Elias said quietly. "You think there is still a deal?" "Elias, your company needs our network. Think of the opportunities." "My company doesn't need anything from a man who assaults my wife," Elias said. He pulled Ava gently from the water, wrapping her in a towel staff rushed to bring. Crane's confidence cracked. "I'll double the offer, triple it. Name your price." "You couldn't afford the price," Elias replied. "Not anymore." He turned toward the watching guests. For everyone listening, Ellison, Technologies is terminating all negotiations with Crane. Development. Permanently, gasps. Swept across the crowd. Crane stumbled forward. "Elias, please. I have employees, obligations. You should have considered them before you showed the world who you really are." Security stepped in. Crane backed away, panic replacing arrogance. "Elias, please. We can fix this." A hotel security chief approached, voice steady. "Mr. Crane, you assaulted a guest." You are banned from this property effective immediately. You can't ban me, Crane screamed. I've hosted this gala for 10 years. His entourage, the judge, the senator, the banker, abandoned him instantly, scattering like rats escaping a sinking ship. Inside the ballroom, whispers spread like wildfire. Crane's table, once the center of attention, was empty. His business partners were already distancing themselves. Within an hour, the video hit every major platform. Within 2, it hit national news. By dawn, it hit global markets. Crane Development stock crashed 18% before opening bell. Clients terminated contracts. Investors called emergency meetings. Protesters appeared outside his headquarters by lunchtime. The Department of Justice opened a civil rights investigation after former employees secretly sent records of discriminatory practices. His assistant leaked emails showing years of racism masked as policy. Contractors came forward with stories of lost bids for unspoken reasons. 3 weeks later, a civil suit was filed. Ava, represented by a top civil rights firm, took her place at the plaintiff's table with the dignity Crane tried to drown. The jury took 6 hours. Their verdict was seismic: multi-million-dollar compensatory and punitive damages. The judge's rebuke struck harder than any sentence. Your behavior represents the rot inside institutions built on privilege and prejudice. Today that ends. Crane's empire collapsed. His mansion was sold. His family left. His name became digital poison. Ava's foundation, born from the settlement, funded legal protection for victims of discrimination across the country. Elias's company tripled in value within a year, partnering with firms who celebrated his principles instead of testing them. And the pool where Crane tried to strip a black woman of dignity was renamed the Elias Ellis Reflection Terrace, in honor of courage, truth, and justice. If you believe dignity should never be up for debate, make your voice count. Like this video, share it everywhere, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from and what moment hit you hardest. Subscribe and turn on notifications for more stories where arrogance collapses and justice rises.